Interesting. Okay, I'm currently waiting for, somebody's here. For the person that's here, can you hear me? I'm not asking if the audio quality is good. I'm asking, can you hear me? It's Caleb, of all people, of course. Caleb Pike, can you hear me? The audio is going to be echoey. I'm using my AirPods right now. I can kind of explain that later. Okay, good. Oh, now there's some people here. I guess I have to officially start. Hey, everybody. Jem Schofield here with C47, and welcome to another episode of the live stream. You will see in a minute why this is considerably different than any other live stream I've done. It's not going to be technically amazing, but I've got some fun stuff to show you guys. Let's just start with the housekeeping stuff. We have to acknowledge our sponsors because they're nice people. This is made with Mimo Live, which is basically a live streaming solution from Boink Software. It's cool. I like it. Our friends at Able Cine, they got equipment and all that good stuff. Hey, Alan, thank you very much for a good job at NAB. I don't know who this GEM person is, but I'm just giving you a hard time. I enjoyed that very much at NAB. And who else do we have to thank? We have to thank our friends over at Rode Microphones. I am not coming to you live from MCM. No problem, Alan. I am actually coming to you live from somewhere else, and it is pretty exciting. So do I cover my webcam with my hand? Do I just do a reveal? I think I'll step away from the camera, and I will, hopefully the video will stream okay. Here we go. That's it. I don't even know what to say. Oh, my bag's in the way. This is the big news. I got keys, and now I'm also getting performance issues because now I've got video. Ben is here. Uh-oh. Now we have major performance issues. So I guess this Wi-Fi hotspot's not doing so great. It is a Zeppelin hanger. So the big news for the for the 4 people that are watching is this is the new home of the C47. So what you're looking at here is a 30 by 60 space. It's completely unfinished. That is a stairway over there. And yeah, it's like everybody that I know is here, but that means not a lot of people. So, you know, Casey Neistat's going to get 1 million people when he announces a new space, and I'm going to get 3 or 4. But it's early days here. So what's really exciting about this is this has been a long time coming. In fact, Caleb and Ben have known that this has been sort of the master plan for a while, but you never know if it's going to happen. It always takes 3 times longer than you think it's going to take. And you don't know if you're going to find what you're looking for. So here I am on the top of a hill in wine country, not the worst place to be in the world. And yeah, it's about quality, not quantity. I totally agree. But I see that we're going to have to do some work here in terms of the internet, which is going to be my next challenge up here. But this space also has to get finished. So it's going to be and will turn into a studio space. And if you look over here, right there, that's a stairway. And next to the director's chair, what's going to happen is that stairway is going to get moved because I want to have full view of this entire space. So over there in that corner is where the stairway will go, and it will get turned 90 degrees, so it'll just take up that little area over there, and then the rest of the space will be completely open. And since I'm on a laptop that's not plugged in, you can kind of get a sense that behind me here is this humongous space, and there's that stairway, and that stairway is going to get moved over into that corner right there, so it won't be there, and you're going to be able to shoot in that direction all the way back. So you're going to basically have a 60-foot run in terms of that. Real camera? No, Alan, not a real camera, just a Logitech webcam. So that stairway right there that you see going downstairs, which has all kinds of other treats going on, not in a creepy way, by the way, is going to be the studio. And then there's an equipment room downstairs. And then there's this huge garage door, which hopefully I'm going to be able to keep, and they're not going to make me take away when I do the work and I get inspections. Because it's going to be great to open that up, not only for airflow, but also to get equipment into the space. Because I can open this gate up over here, you can see it here, and that will give me a straight run to downstairs to bring up set pieces and stuff like that. So yes, it is. It's humongous, dude. It's 1,800 square feet. This level is 1,800 square feet of space. I don't think, except for higher ceilings, that I could have done much better than this. There's going to have to be insulation put in here. That is a metal roof, so trust me, when it's raining, you hear it. And a floor, and maybe even a conversation with my friends at RØDE about doing something to actually handle the acoustics in here once the insulation and the walls and everything are up. Yeah, my house is double that, so it's kind of crazy. But here's the deal. So, no, this building is 3,600 square feet, and then there's the house. It's insane. Okay, so this is basically the future of the C47. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening inside of this space. One of the first things that I'm going to do, which is probably not going to be a live stream, is as I'm starting to work on this space, I'm going to shoot a series on how I build this out as a studio. So we've talked about this stairway here. That's not 100%, but it's getting close to being a decision. There's some reinforcing of this building here as well. And then we start the conversion process of doing this. It is good, Caleb. I'm excited. I'm a little terrified. You know, things, again, they take 3 times longer to happen than you think they do, or they never happen. And it's going to be a challenge to do all of this. But I'm super, super excited about it. So I hope these numbers go up. Please subscribe to the site, and I'll be putting up a lot of content about how this whole space gets built out. If you're interested in building your own studio space, this will be scalable. I was supposed to have some scotch with me right now, especially now that Ben and Caleb are here, but I ran over here to shoot this, and I didn't have time. In fact, well, there might be a bottle in the house, but it's just, I needed to make sure I was here on time for this. So I don't think there's a lot more to go over for this episode. It's just sort of the first thing that's ever been shot inside of this space, which is why I need to have the scotch with me. And a lot more content to come in terms of what will happen with both this upstairs space, which will be the studio shooting space, and then downstairs a portion of the space, which will be the equipment room. And I'll probably cover that as well in terms of how I build that out as an equipment room, how I deal with the logistics of this stairway being moved, not going into the equipment room, and all of the stuff that has to do with that. I'll also have to get rid of these yellow jackets here and the ladybug that's hanging out on my computer and everything else. But once we start to insulate and finish off this space, that'll all get handled. As I said before, ceiling height wise is really the only major thing that I wish we always want higher ceilings. It's better than your situation, Caleb, for sure, but I would say at the peak there, and I'm trying to keep those beams exposed in the build out of it. I think we're at about 14 feet, maybe. I think it might only be 12. And then, of course, it'll go down on the sides there. So, you know, it's going to be, thank God I'm a hobbit and I'm so small, because if I wasn't, then maybe we'd have a problem. So if you're over 6'6", maybe I'm not shooting as, I can shoot stuff in here. It's okay. And we'll build sets and I'll just have you sit down. That's all that'll happen. Any questions that you have about the space? Anything that you want to know about? I'm happy to answer. So, you know, I could actually just take you downstairs so you could see that equipment room. Anybody have any questions? Hopefully the internet will hold up when I go downstairs. What you got? Anybody? I'll turn on the lights when I get down here. What's on the floor? It's just like a particle board product. You can actually see it. I'll turn on the lights when I get down here. You can see what it looks like from underneath. Whoa! Almost lost it there. You're going to hear the buzz of lights. So this space right here is going to actually get converted to a living space. That's not going to be a space that I'm going to be using. If you look up at the ceiling, you'll see it's this kind of particle composite. So that's going to be something that I'm going to have to deal with. Yeah, large green screen. I don't want to do large green screen because I hate it, but I'm about to bid on that. I'm going to keep it long, Caleb. It's all going to be temporary. So we're going to do standing sets that are going to be flats. So there's no plan to build any walls upstairs at all. It's all going to be portable. This is the equipment room. So it's awesome. It has this big garage door and a regular door. And I'm going to keep that, and then we'll just insulate it a little bit. Try to put a bathroom down here when all the plumbing's in place. And then the idea would be that stairway right there is going to get moved, and just think about it being in place of where that what do we call it? It's not a desk. I'm losing my mind here. That countertop is, and just think about it being the stairway right there. So the stairway will go away from there, and it'll get moved to there. So rotate it 90 degrees and put it there. And then I don't know if I'm going to build a wall. I don't know if there's going to be a bathroom under there or what's going to happen, but that's where the stairway will be. And then, you know, I can open up that garage door and load up the trailer and all kinds of stuff. Holy crap. It's amazing. I'm kind of in disbelief. Every single time I come over here, I just bring a little bit of extra equipment, and there you go. So here we go back up the stairs. I'll turn it around so you guys can see that. So there you go. So you come up here, but just think that the stairs are actually going to be right over there, and the top of the stairway will be over here in this corner where those dead yellow jackets and other bugs are living right now. It's epic. It really is. I mean, I'm just kind of a little terrified in terms of what it's going to take to do this, but I think you can see the possibilities. Probably 2-inch pipe for the grid that's going to be up there, and it'll just span between those trestles. It's crazy. Studio warming party for you, Ben. Come on Memorial Day. if you want. That's Monday, May 28th. We'll be living here by then. And I don't know what to say here. How's the actual video quality, by the way? Did it get really crappy? Again, audio will probably hold. And I'm trying to see what my output is. It's not amazing here. Anybody who can give me some info on sort of the quality here, it'll help me. Video is fine. So, you know, I'm going to make it work. It's going to be till they can get some faster internet here. I'll do the occasional live stream from here. And then, thanks, Benjamin. You know, when will you make a rig in the ceiling? I'm going to make a rig in the ceiling after we insulate the whole ceiling. And I've got sheetrock up there. And then the next part of that will be to run different parts of that. I did that actually in my small studio in New Jersey. We use 1-inch pipe for that, and I have a couple of episodes up on the YouTube channel related to that. Honestly, 1-inch pipe is probably enough for almost everything that I would hang from here, because nothing is humongous. I'm not going to hang an M18. It's not going to be a 20K tungsten fixture coming off of those ceilings. So yeah, I think that you know, we're going to have to sort of see how this all plays out. I think that the quality of the video is going to be a lot better if I'm not moving the camera around. So will I build a cyc like I have in my other studio or in my other studio that I did have? I don't know. I mean, what I did in that space was not really build a cyc. What we did is we took this product called Wiggle Board and I created an infinity wall. So it wasn't a true cyc. It didn't actually have a true cyclorama in terms of that bottom part of it. And I'm going to have to make a decision. There's technically enough space where I could maybe take one of these corners of the room and make it into like a 2-walled cyc with a little cutout. But to do that right definitely takes time. It takes, you know, money. And you have to decide in what way do you want to build it. And so I've got to decide for myself, do I want to do that? And it also, in theory, makes me lose a corner. But if I do it, I'd probably do it on that far end, because it would allow me to have one, if I move the stairway, one clear shot from the other side of the studio, so that I could get the full length of the space, which I want to make sure that I'm able to do. So I could technically put a cyc over here in maybe this corner here, have the stairway over here in this corner, and then that would give me the ability to be able to shoot straight, or for the, yeah, pretty much straight through, because I'm not even seeing that first bank of things here. So I could probably get a shot that would be as wide, if not wider than this. Yeah, I mean, you're right. An Infinity Cove cyc is a massive pain in the ass, or arse. But I might do something over here in the corner with an infinity wall, because it might be nice. But to be honest with you, with a space this large, I don't know if that's what I really want to do. I really want to build sets, and I can do them. I mean, I could technically have cameras over where basically this camera is, and I could do a standing set there. I obviously wouldn't have as wide of a screen, but I could say, oh, this little thing here is a standing set. You know, here's another standing set. And so if I'm creating content for people, I could even flip around and have a standing set there. So there's really a lot of opportunity here to create a lot of different ideas. And long term, luckily my friend Ken Potts actually can build flats and can build sets. And I have another resource for somebody locally who can do that as well, who's done it in the past. So we can basically build stuff, leave it in the equipment room downstairs, which I showed you, and I can haul them up here and I can build, let's say, a living room set or a bedroom set or a kitchen set or a combination of those things. And then I can create a whole bunch of educational content around that in this space. I'm probably going to start creating content in this space just the way it is. I've got to handle the temperature issues inside of here. As soon as you crest that stairway, it gets a lot hotter up here. A lot of that has to do with these metal, the metal roof here, the corrugated metal roof. So once I insulate this space, then it's going to be much easier to regulate the temperature in here. And then there will be some sort of HVAC system because of that living space below me. So there will be a way to keep this in the summer cool. I don't have to worry about it too much other than that. But it's making noise and creaking when it's windy up here. So we've got some things to work out. So I think that's good. Any other questions? I like these questions that are coming up. Hold on. Ugh. It's not scotch, it's water with electrolytes. Just saying. I thought there was a bug on the side of that. So what else you got for me? Any other questions? So yes, maybe a psych. Absolutely standing sets. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm happy that the internet here is not as horrific as the place that I'm renting right now. In fact, with a mobile hotspot, a dedicated mobile hotspot, I'm probably going to be okay for certain things. And then I have MCM in McMinnville to use if I wanted to do something where I needed a faster speed connection for something. But I think if my camera is relatively stationary and I'm showing you guys stuff, I'm going to be able to come up with some sort of live stream formula that I can do out of this space. And then the rest of the content will be recorded content that I'll edit. So we'll see. I mean, I'd love to do more and more live stuff with multiple cameras, but I'm not really at that point yet. So I guess that's it. First thing ever shot in the new studio space. I'd like to call it a sound stage, but it's definitely got too many sound issues to be called a sound stage yet. But this is the new, let's say not future, this is the new home for the C47. And over the years, there will be a lot of content created both for the C47 and for other clients from this space and the space around this too, because I have stuff. What do we got for the rest of this year or in the future? What cameras will you populate the studio with? I'm going to answer that question. So right now, the main camera, not that I'm shooting with here, because that's a little Logitech 930E, I think it is. But for the most of the stuff that I'm shooting right now is C200. I will probably wind up getting a second C200. And I think that those will be the workhorses. My C100 Mark Is are still working, and for building HD or creating HD content, they still work out great. But I'm interested to experiment with some other options in terms of camera systems. And, you know, I've been a Sony owner many times over the years, Panasonic owner. I've been living kind of in the Canon world in terms of an owner for quite some time, but I have been, yeah, I'll just get 3 C700 full frame cameras. That'll be it. I can tell you one thing, as excited as I am about ProRes RAW, and I'm very excited about it and creating content around that, ProRes RAW probably won't be what I'm going to record most of my web-based content in. Though the data rates are so low with just regular ProRes RAW that I might, because a combination, you know, certain camera systems. The thing about the C200 is I can't actually go to ProRes RAW with that camera system. So I'm just going to have to rely on the log gamma curve. I'll get a lot better dynamic range than this. And if I just throw up a big light here, it's no problem in terms of balancing the foreground and the background. It's a big problem in terms of color and dynamic range for this little Logitech here. In fact, we can see with a reduced angle of view here what this will look like if things wake up here. I'm going to switch over to just the built-in FaceTime camera. Let's see what happens if it doesn't. And you can see here, so we get a reduced angle of view, and there's the built-in eyesight camera, or we call it, I guess it's still an eyesight camera. So that's it, right? Yes, lots of movies here. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. I enjoyed showing you the space, and I promise that over time it will get more polished in terms of the physical space itself and the content that's created from this space. I actually have plans to shoot content here next week for a couple of products, and I think I'm going to shoot it up here and just kind of use the raw space and see how that all goes, or I might shoot from the house over there, but there's some work being done there before we move in, so let's see how it goes. So there you go, live from Oregon. For people who are going to watch this later on, welcome to the new home of the C47 and the new studio space, which will get built out. And we've got a lot of the sponsors that are going to be involved with that in terms of how their equipment gets integrated into the space. That's all getting worked out. It'll take a little time, but I'm excited about that as well. And there he is, Tim Tan Slam. We might even get some Bright Tangerine products in here. I like that revolver follow focus system. Zero play with the unit that we had for my workshops at NAB, I just have to say. And here you are. Yes, and Tim, we've got a bunch of people here. We've got Caleb Pike from DSLR Video Shooter, Ben Barden, who you may or may not have met, coming to you from, I believe he's in the Czech Republic right now. And Mike, thank you very much for the congratulations, and thank you for the best of luck. And Tim, this is the new space. It's humongoloid, and you know, it's good stuff. So I'll switch back to the other camera. I'm blocking the other camera right now so you guys can see just again that wider angle of view. And there it is. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to questions that you have in the future as this space gets built out. It will be a slow and then very fast process once we start to get into the construction side of it. What do you mean made up for you? Yeah, it is. It's been a long road. Made, yes, it is. This is it. This is the dream, or the beginning of the dream here, Mr. Ben Barden. And I hope to see a lot of you over here in the near to long future. Does that even make any sense? Well, what I mean by that is that we're probably going to do a filmmakers intensive here in this space, maybe about a year and a half from now. Yes, we definitely need to meet up in PDX for a beer. I do drink beer, so that would work. And I know, Ben, I'm happy for me too. Now I just have to make enough money to pay for this place. And it's been a long time since we've done a filmmakers intensive, and this will be a great place to do it. So there's bed and breakfasts around here. There's little hotels around here. It's the middle of wine country, basically from about now until October. It's nice. And then it all goes to shit for a long time. Gets free Aputure. I have Aputure lights, and I actually am waiting for the 300D to come in here. What I'm really waiting for is for them to release and start to distribute the new LECO attachment, because that thing is going to be pretty cool. Is it going to shit this weekend? Yeah, well, it's Oregon, you know, but this is a nice run that we have right now. So I'm going to take it while we have it. And then, you know, maybe in June, then we get a long run. Then it's really pretty good. An occasional heat wave and all that good stuff. So, I don't know. I love the fact that people are interacting. I love that there's comments. I love that there are questions. That's my reminder to call the local movie theater for the Avengers. I sound like an old person. For the Avengers Infinity War party for my 10-year-old who just had his birthday. So that's for this weekend. So I have to call them up, reserve that row of seats before somebody else takes it away. And I think that's a good sign off with my reminder. I will see everybody soon. Over and out from the new location for the C47. It's a hell of a lot bigger than that place in New Jersey. Yeah, Ashland, Oregon Film Festival. I've got to get down to Ashland. You know, my oldest daughter goes down there for the Shakespeare stuff, usually in the fall. And there's a lot of places I got to go to here. It's not a horrible place, you know. There's a weather thing, but I was born in Scotland and I lived in Great Britain for 8 years of my life, and I've been going back for my entire life. So somebody who's sort of in there, well, as old as I am, I get that whole weather thing, and I'm okay with it. And it doesn't snow the same way it does in New Jersey and New York here. So it's all going to be good. It's going to work out. I got to get rid of the yellow jackets. There's far less mosquitoes, and I got lots of space to create content in. So there you go. And it's like my 5th time I'm going to say goodbye, but it's been great talking to everybody. Take care, Caleb. I love the content that you're creating over there, and I'm looking forward to doing some stuff together again in the future. We will get our show back up with Ben in the future. That's called Cameron Flask, everybody, if you didn't know. And sayonara for now, and take care. See you later.